Hello, Morongo Basin and listeners around the world online at Z107.7fm.com. Here is the Z107.7 local news for Thursday, January 19th, 2023. We have a huge variety of different bird species here in the high desert. Native species that are unique to our area, as well as migrating birds that are just passing through. Bird brain Robert Hayden joins us with this year's results of the annual effort to count and keep track of our desert's feathered friends.
On January 3rd, Joshua Tree National Park held their annual Christmas bird count, which is a community-supported scientific study used by organizations like the park and the Audubon Society to count and keep track of migrating and native birds. This was the 123rd annual bird count, and this year in the park there were 69 different species of birds observed and counted, breaking the old record of 66. A few new notable species were observed in the park for the first time. The American crow was spotted, a bird common in cities and other urban areas, but not seen as much here as the larger ravens that dot our desert skies. The starkly patterned rose-breasted grosbeak, which is a diminutive songbird with a black crown and wings, white body, and bright red markings on its chest, was also spotted for the first time in the national park. There were record high counts for 5 species this year. The great horned owl, house wren, and western meadowlark all showed up in bigger numbers than last year, and overall 2,128 birds were counted. If you missed this year's bird count, don't get your wings in a flap because the park will also be participating in the Great Backyard Bird Count coming up on President's Day weekend in February. We'll have the full results of this year's Christmas bird count, along with pictures and examples of some of the bird species that live with us here in the unique and beautiful Mojave Desert. That's at this story at Z107.7fm.com. Reporting for Z107.7 News, this is Robert Hayden.
Last night, the Morongo Valley Community Services District Board held their regular meeting at Covington Park's multipurpose room. Assignment reporter Gabriel Hart was in attendance and has this recap for us today.
Last night's MVCSD meeting ran for nearly 3 hours with little accomplished, moving multiple agenda items to February's meeting to give board members more time to consider each item. Sergeant Scalise opened the meeting reporting 2 successful missing person cases in Morongo Valley, an update on Operation Dust Devil currently in its 5th week with 615 citizen contacts, dozens of citations written, and several off-road vehicles towed for various violations. Scalise also warned about a large spike in catalytic converter thefts in the Morongo Basin. Board members approved the MVCSD driver safety policy before Fire Chief James Brakebill presented a top 10 priority item list for the CSD, including analysis for more competitive wages, retirement plan, and updating the station's phone system that's been unable to take incoming messages for the last year, according to Brakebill. One noteworthy item approved with no argument was a new study session for MVCSD, where board members will meet outside of the regular meetings to address goals and future action items. These sessions will be open to the public and will start on Wednesday, February 8th at 6 p.m. over Zoom. Reporting for Z107.7, this is assignment reporter Gabriel Hart.
Tonight's meeting of the 29 Palms Tourism Business Improvement District meeting has been canceled. The meeting is rescheduled for a week from today, next Thursday, January 26th. It will be held at 3:30 p.m. at 29 Palms City Hall. Affordable housing continues to be a major issue for residents of the high desert, and the Morongo Basin Conservation Association will spotlight this ongoing problem at their annual meeting. Set for this Saturday morning, the Morongo Basin Conservation Association will present an overview of problem areas and propose community-based solutions to the problem. Representatives from local government bodies and nonprofit agencies will also discuss issues surrounding and pose remedies to the lack of affordable housing, including County Supervisor Don Rao, Joshua Tree National Park Superintendent David Smith, Yucca Valley Town Manager Curtis Yakimow, and 29 Palm City Manager Frank Lucchino. Representatives from Copper Mountain College, the Marine Corps Air Ground Combat Center, the Morongo Unified School District, and Morongo Basin Arch will speak as well. There will be time for members of the public to speak, and a light breakfast will be served. The meeting begins Saturday at 9:30 a.m. with programming starting at 10 a.m. Attendees are asked to RSVP at a link in this story at Z107.7fm.com, and if you are unable to attend in person, the entire event will be recorded and posted to mbccconservation.org. Milltree, the Joshua Tree-based community outreach connecting veterans and other service members with the wider community through shared experiences and projects, is offering a female veteran online retreat addressing the invisible wounds of war. Assignment reporter Charlie Thomas shares the details of this event.
Women veterans and their supporters often suffer from invisible wounds from their experiences with military service, along with other ailments including drug and alcohol abuse. These experiences are not unique to one generation, but span the entire history of conflict, impacting active duty, veterans, dependents, family, and friends. Miltree is offering a free online retreat January 20th, 21st, and 22nd that addresses these types of traumas. For more information, session times, and to register, contact Carolyn Hartness at a link in this story at Z107.7fm.com. Reporting for Z107.7, this is assignment reporter Charlie Thomas.
A newly discovered comet is going to be visible by the naked eye the rest of this month. Robert Hayden rejoins us with information on where to look.
If you head outside before the sun comes up and look to the northwest, you may see a faint green glow on the horizon. That's the memorably named new comet C2022 E3ZTF. And dark desert skies along with an orbit that brings it close to Earth means you'll be able to spot it with the naked eye. The comet is visible now, but astronomers at NASA say that on February 1st, it's expected to reach its closest proximity to Earth, a mere 26.4 million miles away. Although the nascent celestial body is new to us, Earth inhabitants have possibly seen this particular comet before, but it was most likely over 10,000 years ago. The comet will continue ejecting dust and gas as it intersects Earth's orbit, giving it that unearthly green glow, but after February, you're going to have to head south of the equator to catch the comet as it continues its trajectory out of the solar system. You can see this story on our website for pictures of the comet, along with a link that can help you spot it for yourself. Reporting for Z107.7 News, this is Robert Hayden.
And finally, the outgoing superintendent of the Joshua Tree National Park, David Smith, will be the guest on the Z107.7 Up Close show tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. You can call in live as David Smith takes a last look back at his tenure here. His upcoming plans, successes, and challenges will be reviewed. Call in live and join in saying goodbye to David Smith on the Z107.7 Up Close show tomorrow at 10 a.m. here on Z107.7. That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. More Morongo Basin residents get their local news from Z107.7 than any other source. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 Local News, I'm Jeff Harmetz.